Great. Okay, right. Let's bow it. Good. Great. Onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu.
You work a little bit of a shorter one. I'm going to kind of work on the 13 a little bit more. So let's just use, yeah. A little bit front and back. And the sides. Satan. Nice again, just allow the upper body to circle around. Yeah. Nice and easy. Both directions. And then just take into kind of figure eight pattern, looping around both sides. Stay kind of long and tall, you can also roll down to the hips a little bit if you like. Just gently follow. A nice smooth transition from one to the next. Let this one flex and open. Just look out, shoulders a little pull in the arms, shoulders open. Kind of diving forward, roll the shoulders forward. Just tips of the finger together. Oh, hands to the back. And forwards. Oh, now. And then forwards. Let the arms go to the knees here and just roll up the spine. Curling the top of the spine. Pull the head up. Long. And curl the spine. Round the back. Pull the chin to the chest. Open up. And curl up. Down the back. Like you're bowing the bow or bending the bow. Open up. One more time. Curling back. Good. Just keep the knees there, just roll the chest. Just rolling. Little figure of eights. Bring up hands off the knees. Just continue rolling to the shoulders. And change. The elbows, shoulders loose. Slowly pick up speed each time. Gradually pick up speed. Just slow it down. Change direction. Just gradually picking up the speed. Chest is really heavy for the end of the arm. Slow it down a little bit. Just keeping a kind of loose fist, just release it out across the body from the opposite side. So, release it out. The muscle right fist. Kind of bounce and pull. As you're doing it, just let the weight drop into the ground. Down and out. That's it. Down and out. And as you're doing it, just think about the opposite elbow, kind of drawing it out again. It's like a kind of bow. You're going to kind of open that elbow this way. And just let it release. 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 And then do the same thing just with the rotation and hip. This way. This way. Gentle pull from the opposite elbow as well. Good. And then a side bench, use the kind of light fist, just rolling over. And then the fins you've got the bend, and then you kind of inject the elbows both across the body. And then just roll them back. Roll that to the side. Roll them out and then pull them back. Until the hips basically drop the elbows out back. And the elbows pull back to the hips. Elbows pull away from the hips. Elbows pull back. Right, circle the hips a little bit. away. Into the knees. Just find the kneecap loose, just lightly massaging the knee with the fingers or the thumbs. So work your way around the knee, or if you find any particular point, just work that a little bit more. Okay, just with the hands, the palm, just on the kneecap, keep it loose. Good. Nice, grounded in the feet, and just sculpt into circle. Stretching back a little bit. Find the toes into the ground again. Roll them the other way. And gently back. Step one foot in front. Just working the back heel, so just pulling the heel up, pressing it down. Just working the back foot. Bring the same ankle forwards, just rolling it. The other. Changing the foot. Press the heel down again, raise it, press it down, raise it, press it down. Bring that foot up, step in. Either way. Just working the inside and outside of the feet. Rolling through the toes. Just switch between the toes and the heel. Roll the contact all the way through the ground. Keeping the knees loose or the knees flexible. And just pulling the toes up, just settle into the feet. So these 3 points of contact, basically the heel, the base of the big toe, and just the outside edge of the foot, just below the big toe. Just so you kind of spread into them with the toes raised. And then just tapping the big toe into the ground. Tap it and pull it up, tap it, pull it up, tap it, pull it up. Trying to keep those 3 points of contact nice and strong in the ground. And then last one, just hold it down. Hold the big toe down, press it into the ground. Raise it up, try and keep the big toe up. Press the other fingers down. Fingers down. Toes. Spanish. Ah. Fingers of the feet. Okay, and then just press the big toe down. Think that you're spreading the toes out. We'll do the hands at the same time as well, but just think about spreading the toes all away from each other. The best way is think about doing the 𝘱𝘰𝘳𝘪𝘩𝘦. You're kind of spreading the big toe and the little toe away from each other. And the rest should also kind of open up if you get that. So also you can do that with the hands. Think about spreading the thumb and the little finger away. That kind of position, and then the others just kind of fit into it. And then just think you've got that spread. Think about pulling also the fingers back. I'm not very flexible in my fingers, but some people can really arch the fingers this way. Think about pulling them up like this. And the same with the toes. Think about pulling them towards the face. In this case, spread the fingers away from each other. Good. And then just settle the toes into the ground. Roll the wrists. Just keep a kind of loose contact in this one. Nice. Open contact with the palms, or no contact with the palms. And just do a few last stretches. Keep that position, just roll up to the top. Sink into the ground and stretch up with the arms. Just bring it down. One more. This time as you go up, gently rotating the body through one side, pull yourself back to the center, go the other way. Keep that grounding, keep that lengthening up to the top. Center, drop them down. We'll just do one last one to the front, so just rolling out, spread and reach out. Release it. Spread and reach out. And release it. And shake those up. Swing the feet at the same time. Ooh, there we go. Okay, good. Yes. Okay, good. Doggy paddle. Side to side. Oh, that's the tricky one. Side to side, the foot. There we go. Release the ankle. Okay, good. So rolling out the arms. A bit of an incline with the body. Slowly bring the body back. Take it into the whole body. Just slowing it down, come into stillness. Let the arms hang by the side, let the weight drain down. Right, so we'll continue with the 13 Kata. We got up to hustle and strike. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So the next part of the hassle, we just finished the hassle and the strike basically. So we were in the hassle and the strike to finish. The next section of it is where you're kind of rotating through. So we'll just start with a little bit of rotation work, just with the jaw at the side. Just imagine you're basically just doing tiny henko. So just reach the arm out, you've got an extension. Just do tiny henko basically with the jaw. Roll through the foot and just roll back with the hip. Now do this on both sides just for kind of symmetry or balance. Reach out, roll into the ground, and then find the henko. Change the jaw on the side. Sink in, rotate through the hip. Settle. Change the side. Extension, sink in, roll the hip through, settle. Change the side. Extend, sink, and roll and settle. Yeah, just go at your own time. Really nice, quality rotation. Just bring the jaw with you. Yeah. The first thing with it, just make sure, I know it's really easy to do, but don't watch your feet as you do it. So if you watch your feet during a rotation, straight away, you break the contact with the spine. I know we do it all the time, especially in the morning, but try and get a feel that you connect out. And then as you roll through this position, that the head's basically rolling around to a new direction, and then maintain that direction. So just imagine the eyes basically settling onto a horizon point. Ideally, it's something specific that I know I can kind of track back to each time. So I've got really a point of focus, but super easy to start dropping the head as you go to rotation. But basically try and feel the feet, try and feel the body without watching them. Nice. Yeah, okay, good. And then really important for rotation work, again, just before we come to the jaw work, just think about really rolling through the feet as you do it. So if you can play with this, if you struggle and find it with the rotation, just play with it in this position where you're just kind of rolling back with it. So the feeling with this is you set the foot up and then the weight basically rolls back down the foot this way. What often happens is the rotation, I'm doing a kind of spinning motion on the ball of the foot. And then you kind of doing a kind of turn on the ball of the foot, which is what you're doing, but try and basically do it in a sense where I'm kind of setting the leg up in a way where I can basically sink the weight back and down. So the movement's more a feeling of draining back and down rather than rotating this or spinning on the axis in a sense. So it's basically it's a linear movement, but it's a rotation in total. Yeah. So the weight's basically draining down all the time. And the feeling's like rolling through the foot rather than turning on it. Yes, there we go. That's. Okay, great. Very nice. Okay, so there's obviously a specific position with the arms and the joints, but what I want you to do is just feel that you can use any position with the jaw, but just feel that it's extended out away from the body now. So before it's just kind of stuck on the body here or at the side rested, just use the jaw out and look for that same rotation. So sink the weight in and really include the jaw and the arms with the rotation work. So they can be in really any position. Yes. Just have the sense that just extended out. So it doesn't have to be fancy, but just feel the weight now of the jaw and allow that weight to actually ground you more. So the more that weight's out, the more I need to ground the body. So set up the rotation in the same way and roll through it. But feel free to kind of explore different positions with the jaw. If you think about that position in the 13, that's basically going to be a blocking movement just to the side of the body. So. Okay, so we'll come to the specific movement from the 13th Joe Kata. So in this case, you're going to be in an engaged position with the hip. So just gently engage the hip down into the cup here. Now you've got from that engaged position, I need to basically find the rotation and at the same time release the jaw back into the body. So you've got an out, strong, extended position. If I keep that position and rotate, the jaw's going to pull me out as I go. So what you need to think about in this case is basically that you release the jaw back into the body. I'm going to let this hand basically loose on the jaw. I'm going to kind of pull the jaw in as I initiate that rotation. Now this is a block. It's to basically cover the body as I go back. Somebody's thrusting me here into the side of my ribs. So I rotate through and I just carry that jaw off to the side and come back. You can do this on the both sides, but we'll just stick to the right leg in this one for the kata work. So find that engaged position with the hip, release into the rotation, and then let the jaw roll over to the side of the body. So really important. Now, again, another kind of a real asymmetrical position on the body. Balance is the key, or the first priority in this case. And the next thing is going to be kind of weight. Okay, so in this case, this is after the hasso. So the hasso follows the same rule, but in this case, it's going to be. I'm going to show you. It's basically after 6. It's 7 out to the side. So the jaw's coming in. Basically, my thumbs both point forward, and I'm using this part of the jaw to block and cover. And this can do two things. You can cover a ski against the body, in which case I'm going to kind of roll the jaw this way. But it also follows the same path that I can protect the head as well. So you can think in this 2 ways. I'm basically covering a ski across the front, or I'm also covering a 𝘥𝘢𝘦𝘴, which could come to the side of the head that way. Yeah. We'll go to the next position as well, so this is really clear. You go here, and then you can go straight away. Yeah, you swim thrust. There. Yeah, and then reset into the hip. Release, roll, block, and then find a ski. Yeah. So you're going to 6, 7, and then press into 8. So this is the rotation on 6. From 6. So also useful to think about the kind of intention. I know that solo kata is really solo kata, but think as you go through, my intention is to basically connect with the person's weapon, to basically take it off the center line. So I'm basically trying to open them up with the hand. Basically imagine like I've got contact and then I'm kind of opening them up this way to go into a strike this way. So I kind of tied this application with this would be to connect, open them up, and then go into a strike like this. So just think about this as you go through. That means I basically need weight in the body. So as I go through, think about weight coming out to the side. So I'm looking to carry the jaw to the side and then open them out. So it's a kind of opening movement with weight, not really a hitting movement this way, but opening them out so I can follow through with the ski. But it's useful just to think about as you do. It's solo work. You've got that kind of function of that movement. It's a block, but it also is a movement which is going to take the person off the center line. Yeah, nice.
Michael?
Yeah, sure.
Would you say that this movement also is further away from your body than you would stick to this side, so close to your hip? So is more in an extended way on your backhand?
There's a great, I'll try and find it later, but there's a great picture with Saito Center teaching this. I think he's in Denmark or somewhere teaching a seminar. I've got an image of it, but he's really in this clear position. So they talk about like triangulation with the backhand this way. And also, if you think about this, if I go into this position, it's stable. Again, it's this thing of like, I can go to positions which are stable, but they're not very flexible as well. So I can go to a strong position, which will be something maybe like that. Maybe that's quite strong. Ish.
but it doesn't really give me an easy way into the ski. I've got a long way to kind of release and come into the ski. It's very awkward. So with the setup is actually I'm going to parry it off, but the arm's already in an extended position so that it can go directly into the ski this way. But the other part of that is if you think about Lewis would always say this, you can do this against the ski, and that's really clear. But I think this also needs to be protecting this part of the body as well, which will be like a 𝘥𝘠𝘦𝘴. So in which case, if I go to like that position and this 𝘥𝘠𝘦𝘴 comes in, I mean, you just need to try this one time. I mean, we did, so you just try it. So we do this, yeah, you go into the head, right? So this kind of feelings actually, if it was to make contact, it slips off. So I basically need this kind of angle. I need this angle on the jaw so that it's going to go to and slip off if it's a 𝘥𝘠𝘴. But that won't work if it goes here. It will go here and then it slips down onto that hand if the jaw doesn't hit me in the head, if the strike's powerful. So yeah, simple terms, that arm's a bit more extended away from the body. Yeah. So there's a kind of slight angle on it, but that way and then release it. And but if you think that also follows the same position, if you think about the first kumijō and you're in that position, it's that same angle, same use of the hands, really. It's slightly different position, but it's that same feeling here, where you can basically press and release into the ski. So that kind of gives you, it's using that same positioning basically. That's nice. Okay, we'll go to the next couple of positions. So you're going to start now in the ski position. So again, engage the ski forward. Imagine you've got the ski basically thrusted out, but just come to that position now. The next position here is to pull the jaw back into the get out position, where you'd normally go into the low strike. In this case, for the kata, you're going to open the body up, and you need the jaw to basically come through onto that side of the body. And again, it's a blocking position. So just think about this as you go here. You've got that ski position. Roll the hip back, and then I want the jaw to basically protect the body as it opens out this way. And then that's going to allow me to just step through with the back foot. Yeah, so we'll do this kind of step by step. It feels a bit strange to do, but you find this position, roll back, and then open out here, and then step through. Yeah, we'll just do that kind of step by step. We'll bring it together at the end, but come back, you open out, the jaw protects the body, and then you step through with it. So, but again, a similar kind of logic that the jaw's going to kind of wedge off to one side of the body. And in this case, it's going to allow you to wedge into a ski in this one. So it's the same use of that movement, but in a different function. This one is to basically allow me to wedge straight down the line with the body, which in this case, the jaw needs to come first to protect my center line. Quite a tricky movement, or really a tricky movement. And all those things that make it awkward, it's asymmetry, and in this case, stepping through as well as you open the hip. Not easy. Let me see. Okay. So it's worth just watch this video. This is one we filmed in Zaragoza with on a Lewis seminar. But this is we filmed the 𝘥𝘰𝘪𝘴 practice for it. But at the beginning of the video, there's part of the kata. Or there's the kata basically run. So let's just go and see. It's done. Just notice that point in the kata. So it's done nice and slowly in this case. Yeah. So that's the part we're at now. Stop that. This part, I'm going to try and put it on super slow where it's at second. 0.5. Okay. So it's really open. And then that leg passes through for the ski. We'll do that next. Okay, so that's it. Try and do that. Something like that. Yeah, I'll try and do that. So this is kind of a slow. If you can do it slowly, you can do it with control. So just look at this. We'll add in the ski now with it, or the Jordan ski with it. So think about basically that opening of the hip. This, and then as you come through the step, find that ski. And then you can just float it back, or you can come to there. But just focus on that movement, that kind of draw back, open into the block, and then now that add that high ski into it, Jordan ski. That's for the throat in this case. Serena, good morning.
Morning.
We're doing the 13 Kata. We are right in the middle.
Okay.
Middle end.
I'll just see what everyone else is doing and follow.
We are at the point of no return. Okay, yeah. So this is really a tricky movement. So what's this? You can do it in an easy way, or yeah, what's this? So an easy way is this: the hips basically stay where they are, and I do that. The hips are basically really disengage that movement, and then I engage the hip. So think if you watch that video loop, what you'll see is like the hip engaging into that movement as well. So feel that the hips basically able to engage into that, but that's really difficult to do with balance. But that's what I need to do to press weight into the jaw, because otherwise I'm like this. That's an exaggeration, but the hips are basically not engaged, and my body's pulling back as the jaw goes forward. So engage into the jaw, but engage it with the hip basically sinking into the ground. And this is really a classic compression pattern. I need the weight to be really draining into that foot for that to happen. If you're stuck on this, just think about or just go to the 𝘵𝘠𝘬𝘵, the classic, which has that same motion disc, but it's a little bit easier because the jaws basically down. This is hard because you're really going into total asymmetry and the jaws are in the body. So it's really a difficult position, but see if you can basically engage the hip through it. So think, it goes back to this Chinese classic, which is like one thing moves, everything moves. So it's not like a still posture where I kind of just push the jaw up. It's basically the whole body opening. It's like opening a door in this case, really like a, and then you pass through it. But yeah. Yeah. Good. That's it. So there's a point also with balance work where you have to kind of accept that you're not in balance all the time, right? So you have to accept that you're not in balance, right? Which means like this kind of position, I'm really not in balance in the body, but I need to accept and drop into it and then go into it. But if I never accept that I'm going to try and hold the body off the ground and I'm never out of balance, I'm out of balance anyway. So you've only got 2 feet anyway, so you're always going to be out of balance. And in this case, you're really out of balance because you're really only on one leg. This way. So just accept that you are in balance and try and find the balance in that. And then go, which I know is stupid, but try and accept that you're already working out of balance. It's fine. Accept it and work with it, basically. And if it means falling flat on your face as you do that movement, that's where you've got to go. That's it. It's just like risk falling over, basically, as you do it. I go to that kind of state, for me personally, it's also like, it actually becomes easier. That's it. Yeah. Good. So just try putting this part together now. So you're from the Kenkamai, from position 6, you're going into 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And come back. You've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Yeah. So from 7 to 11. Very good. 7, 11. Good. Yeah, nice. Good. So just add in the last two movements now, which are from the Jodan. You've got that high ski coming up. You let the Jo come down, and the feeling that this is a block. So you're taking that end of the Jo, rolling back with the hip, and taking the center line. And then the final move is a ski down the side. So included together from 7. You got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Roll back. 12, 13. Finish it with a ski. Give it a try. So this is the last half of the kata. Oh. Okay, perfect. So we will look at the whole kata. So 1 through 13. So just take your time with it. Again, do it slowly. Nice kind of even pace throughout. So this is one of those katas like the 31 that starts to kind of speed up as you go into the last part. But try and just hold the movements together, in this case evenly. So it goes here, ich, ni, san, chi, go, rock, six, hatch, good, ju, juch, you, user, and then back. Yeah, just in your own time, just run through it a few times. We'll add a few elements to it. Get the kata down now. Okay. If you have any problems or questions, just let me know. Give me a shout. Okay. Okay, very good. I just make one point. I will this today just to remind me of it, not you guys, but just me. So I got this rosary beads. So I'm going to show you. It's kind of interesting. They all look even apart from the one at the top or the one at the bottom, whichever way you want to put it. This one's a little bit bigger, right? And the rest are kind of even. So I think of this like the kata, right? So they're all even, and you've got one big one. Now, one of the problems we've got with priorities, right? So what we tend to do is the big one, the important ones, either at the beginning, the first movement, wham, and then the rest of it's kind of whoa, or the last movement, I rush to the end and wham, I want to hit to 30. But I actually think about the most important one is really the beginning position, which you start with, and then the kata, and then you come back to at the end. That's actually the most important point. That's still posture right in the beginning, neutral, still. That's where you're actually practicing all the skills all the way in the kata. The kata are just making those skills difficult, but you're actually practicing that beginning point, right? So think about this as you do the kata. What we tend to do is we start, we're already rushing, and this is really important, and the rest of it's whatever. Or I'm rushing all the way into the end, basically. So really try and hold the kata in that space, right? And really like the skills that I'm practicing in my Aikido, just being open, grounded, relaxed, heavy. They're actually in this form. Yeah? And it's a very easy way to access those skills. And then that kata is the difficult way. So I'm trying to hold those qualities in the body and then take them as I go into the kata. Now, as I lose them, stop, pull the body back. Yeah, and just come back. Yeah. So really try and feel it, all those things we talk about all the time, or I talk about all the time. Grounding, calm, connection, grounding, sinking, settling, all that stuff. Do it when you're basically standing still in that first movement. Yeah. And then take it into the kata. And then when you feel you're kind of dropping down with it, just pull yourself back out, find that posture again. If you can maintain it all the way through, that is the practice. And then coming back to stillness again. Yeah. So just play with it. We'll just, I'll stop talking now. So just practice basically, but use that first position really as a kind of ground that you want to take forward basically. Oh. Right. Good, good, good. Oh, Serena, you've changed. You've got taller.
I think sometimes the big bead is called the mountain.
The mountain.
Yeah, so it's like returning to the mountain stillness. So it starts in stillness and then return to the mountain.
Great. Nice. I like it. The mountain. Return to the mountain. Oh, I need to write that down. Return to the mountain. Very good, very good, very good. Nice. Good. Okay, just come to the last one as you go, buddy. Boom. Perfect. Good. 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 Great. Okay, let's bow up. Very good. Super. Great. Domo arigato.
Domo arigato.
Very good. Thank you very much. We will try and do it in slow.